There's a red wave.
Yeah, I was just going to make sure you had Bellevue volleyball alum. We'll get her in there. I'll kind of. I'll try to give you a little something. Yeah, good. That's good. Talk about both mom and dad. I have a feeling I'm getting older. I swear to God, I saw two cops the other day, like in their cars. Are they even old enough to drive? I mean, they look, I know I look young when I was that age, but they can't really play. Yeah, with Lisa and what football plays? I game on Monday night football. Whatever movie, like, don't show you guys. I think it's something that nice. Yeah. Oh, I just like that kid yesterday for wrestling football. Yeah. 32 or whatever. Yeah. That's playing too a long time. I don't know what the policy is. It's going to 2000. It does have a management. I got it. Every day when I work out. Yeah. Once it stops, slowly I'm hard to I work harder now. It is what it is. My wife does time to remind me. We beat the shit out of her. It's the only time you'll ever hear her swear. You did pick somebody up. Well, I made a couple bad moves.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Coming to you live from the new Bellevue University Fieldhouse. We'll bring you another Saturday evening of men's and women's basketball in the Frontier Conference as the home team Bellevue University Bruins take on the visiting Montana Technical University or Diggers out of Butte, Montana. Good afternoon, almost good evening, everyone. Mick Krupski back behind the microphone. women's game first, tip-off in about 5 minutes, and then the men's game to follow. I'll be flying solo here for the broadcast on the women's game and maybe get some help here for the men's contest. We'll see how that unfolds as we get to that. For the Bellevue Bruins, a big win last night, defeating Montana Western 58-57, courtesy of a good team effort. And then some critical free throws by Zakiya Mohammed with 10 seconds left to earn the victory. The Bruins are now 8-9 on the season, 4-8 in conference play, and 6-3 here at the new Fieldhouse. Tonight's opponent, the Montana Tech Ore Diggers out of Butte, Montana. They're currently rated number 12 in the NAIA Coaches Top 25 poll. So a tough test for the Bruins this evening. The Ore Diggers are 14-2 overall, 10-2 in conference play. They're 3-2 on the road. They lost last night in a matchup of top 25 teams. They lost to Dakota State in South Dakota by a score of 73-56. That snapped a 9-game winning streak for Montana Tech. Let's take a look at these two teams and see what they bring to the table through their efforts thus far in this 2025-26 season. For the home team, Bruins, they're averaging 64 points per game, but allowing 67, so that's a -3 in the overall differential. The Bruins shoot 40% from the floor, 34% from behind the three-point arc, and 70% from the free throw line. For the Ore Diggers, 72 points per game is their season average, while allowing only 56. So good offense and tough defense. That's a +16 for the Ore Diggers on the season. Montana Tech, 43% from the floor, 31% from behind the arc, and 71% from the free throw line. So the Bruins' possible advantage here is from behind the arc. The Bruins a little bit better three-point shooting team. I had a chance to talk with Bellevue head coach James Ice Benford. He said the Ore Diggers are a very tough, physical, and disciplined team. They're going to like to try to pound the ball inside to use their size to take advantage there. So he hopes the Bruins, after that nice effort last night, with just about the entire team involved with that, 10 players suiting up again tonight for the Bruins, he hopes the Bruins are able to knock down some three-pointers. The Bruins averaging 8 made 3 points per game on the season. Coach Ice said ideally the Bruins would like to make 12 three-pointers per game. That able to loosen up the defense and allow inside players like Zakiya Mohammed to be a little bit more open inside. So he hopes that Drew Zuha and Emma Russell can maybe get hot from behind the arc tonight in this matchup against the Ore Diggers. The Bruins did a great job rebounding last night, but the Ore Diggers with their size hold a 45-38 rebound advantage in games on the season. The Bruins' difficulty last night was with turnovers. The Bruins averaging 18
good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Bellevue University and
yesterday against Montana Western. So hopefully the ball will be able to be handled a little bit more cleanly today. Zakiya Mohammed, the leading scorer for the Bruins, 12.1 points per game. Joy Barron with 10.8. For the Ore Diggers, they'll be without their leading scorer and rebounder. Hadley Humphreys is out with an injury. She averages 11.5 points per game and 7.4 boards, so we'll see how they react. All right, let's turn it over to public address announcer Ray Quinn as we get ready for the introduction of the starting lineups for tonight's game.
On Monday it'll be 2 weeks. So then they tried this one.
Thanks once again to Ray Quinn, our public address announcer. You'll hear Ray in the background of tonight's contest. And as always, we'd like to invite you to be part of our broadcast. If you want to send along a text message to us, Bruin fans or Digger fans, my number is 402-515-7654. I'll give that number several times during the game. Bellevue fans, you've had it all season long. Montana Tech fans, we invite you as well. 402-515-7654. The Bruins will be in their purple uniforms tonight with white trim. The visiting Montana Tech Diggers in white with red trim. Just about set for the opening tip. First 10-minute quarter is underway. Tip is controlled by the Bruins. All right, here we go. Matchup between the Bruins and the Diggers. Caroline Ellison with the basketball. Leaving it behind for Drew Zuha. Man-to-man defense employed by Montana Tech. Zuha picks up her dribble. Joy Kyles comes to her rescue. Little move near the elbow. Bounce pass inside to Joy Barron. Trying to work in the lane. Up and under. A little bit too short on the shot. The rebound cleared by Liv Wengeren. She'll bring it across the timeline as Montana Tech works on its first offensive possession. Down low, the shot too high off the glass, but the follow-up also short, but foul's going to be called. The shot inside, the work inside by Hallie Haber, and it'll result in a foul on Zakiya Mohammed. Zakiya, the Bruins forward/post player. She's somebody the Bruins can ill afford to get in foul trouble early. Haber, a sophomore out of Billings, Montana. First free throw is good. The Diggers take the early lead on the board first. Both these teams in action last night. The Bruins with the win, the Diggers with the loss. Second free throw off the mark. Loose ball winds up out of bounds. It'll stay with Montana Tech. Whoops. Yep, they're going to say Montana Tech. Bruins did not do a real good job there of boxing off on that missed free throw. So the Diggers with another opportunity here. Into the hands of Avery Carlson. To the near side to Nielsen. She'll launch from three-point line. That's no good. Zakiya Mohammed boxing out her opponent. Ellison with the rebound. Here's the Bruins shot from distance by Drake Kyles. That's no good. The follow-up by Ellison is also no good. In the battle for the rebound, it's won by Avery Carlson. It'll go out of bounds, however, and it'll be Bellevue basketball. Well, the Bruins, a couple of looks on that sequence, but couldn't get either of them to cash in. Bellevue averaging 40% shooting from the floor on the year, 43% the average for the Ore Diggers. Here's Zakiya Mohammed with the basketball. Set a new school record for points in a game, 31 last week in Bismarck. Kick out pass. Here's Ellison, drives the lane. Left-handed shot. The layup is good. Caroline Ellison, the first Bruin basket of the evening. Bellevue up 2-1. Quickly ahead come the Ore Diggers. Carlson looking for help. Carlson with the ball now all the way across the top to this near side to Haber. Her shot is no good. Joy Barron will pick up the rebound. Ellison trying to pick up the pace down the floor. Ore Diggers able to get back. Entry pass inside to Mohammed. That's going to be a reaching call. That'll go against number 40, Olivia Nielsen. First personal, first team foul. So each squad with one team foul in the early going. Entry pass to Mohammed. She'll leave it from Zuha. Drew, one of the Bruins' best three-point shooters, tries to drive the lane, has it stuffed inside on the defensive play by Brooke Badovanek. And the turnover against the Ore Diggers off the hand of Badovanek. Excuse me, I'll get it correct here. Badovanek from Butte, Montana, the home of Montana Tech. Montana Technological University officially. Montana Tech's a whole lot easier to say. Bruins passing the ball around. Mohammed from the outside. She can hit the three-pointer. Splits the defenders. Too strong. Barron in good position. She's too high off the backboard. Again, the Bruins a couple of looks inside before Nielsen clears the rebound for Montana Tech. Carlson driving in the lane. Now the kick out to Nielsen. Barron draws a defensive assignment. Both teams in man-to-man defense. And another turnover, and that's going to result in a foul. Allie Haber will pick up her first personal foul, second team foul against the Ore Diggers as a pair of subs coming in. Rachel Van Blericom and Hallie Neibauer checking into the game. I want to give kudos to Rachel. She helped me with the pronunciations before today's game, so thanks, Rachel. Bruins with the 2-1 lead, a slow start scoring-wise through the first 3 minutes of tonight's contest. Here's Ellison. Near the free throw line, kick back out to Dressoni Kyles. Trying to look inside to Mohammed. She's covered up pretty intensely inside. A nice entry pass there from Zuha to Mohammed. Too strong. She gets the rebound. The putback. Free throws upcoming. As the foul will go against Hallie Haber, her second personal foul. Third team foul against Montana Tech. Zakiya Mohammed will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Zakiya, 65% free throw shooter on the season. Bruins as a team at 70%. And Zakiya, her first point of the evening. She had 13 last night in the win against Montana Western. And both of them converted. The Bruins a 4-1 lead. A little light backcourt pressure by the Bruins. And stolen away. Joy Barron, 2-on-1, working nicely down the floor. Drake Kyles with the assist. Joy Barron with the basket. And up off the bench comes Jeff Graham to call the timeout for Montana Tech. Not happy with the way this one has started out for his team. First timeout of the game. Nice 2-on-1 break there between Kyles and Barron. Again, Montana Tech playing without their leading scorer and rebounder, Hadley Humphreys, out with a concussion protocol injury. Humphreys averaging 11.5 points per game and 7.5 rebounds, so she is missed by the number 12 rated team in the NAIA. In last night's game against Dakota State, the Ore Diggers were led by Brooke Bedovanek. She had 14 points, 11 points for Hallie Haber, and 9 points for Liv Wengeren. They a tough opponent in Dakota State. Dakota State number 7, Montana Tech number 14. And Dakota State won that home contest by quite a bit, 73-56. 30-second timeout. Diggers back out on the floor. Interim head coach James Ice Benford with some last-minute words for his team as now the purple-clad Bruins head back out to the floor. Again, that text message number, if you want to send along your greetings this evening, 402-515-7654. Again, backcourt pressure. It takes about 8 seconds for the Diggers to get it across the timeline. So that's 8 seconds left to use on the 30-second shot clock. Coach Benford said the Diggers are a very patient, a very disciplined team. They're not afraid to let the shot clock go down to low numbers before getting off the shot they want to take. Bounce pass inside, a nice thread the needle pass on that one from Wengeren to Nielsen for the basket. Nicely executed there with about 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Case in point. Both teams stay in the man-to-man. There's a pass inside, maybe too tough an angle on that one. Turnover. Bedovanek on the break and off the glass. Montana Tech closes to within 1 as they've scored the last 4 points. Here's Drasoni Kyles, first-year member of the Bellevue Bruins. Akai Muhammad, 3 years of experience under her belt. Caroline Ellison, another newcomer. And Janelle Coleman, first-year member, takes a shot from behind the arc. It's a little bit off the mark. The rebound cleared by Wengeren, quickly ahead. And off the glass, Brooke Bedovanek gets the basket off that nice assist from Wengeren. Montana Tech back up on top, a 6-point stretch for the visitors from Butte, Montana. My wife and I had a vacation day up in Butte a couple of years or so ago, right in the midst of all those Canadian forest fires. A smoky time there, but a pleasant city to spend a day. Little runner in the lane, off the mark on the attempt by Kyles. The rebound cleared by the Diggers, Wengeren. She'll bring it across the timeline. Nielsen. Diggers set up in the half court. Pass inside, fadeaway shot, no good. The miss by Rachel Van Blaricom. The Bruins clear it away. Coleman ahead. Ellison. Caroline will bring it up for the Bruins. Penetration down the lane. No backside help, but the shot a little bit off the mark. Cleared away by Van Blaricom. Working around the horn, now inside to Nielsen. Underneath, all alone. Bruins missed the defensive assignment there as Rachel Van Blaricom with the basket. An 8-0 run for Montana Tech has given them the lead at 9-6. James Benford calls a timeout, 30-second timeout for him as the Bruins gone cold on offense and missed an assignment there for sure on defense. One text in the queue from the Digger land. Go Diggers to help you. Badovinac is the correct pronunciation. Badovinac. All right, that's a little bit different than what I heard, but we'll go with that one. I'm assuming you know what you're talking about. From Montana. Badovinac. We'll go with that. Bruins back to work on offense, trying to get away from this 8-point string by the Diggers. Barron back to Kyles. Straytron look inside. Into the game for the Bruins is Taylor Wharton. First time on the floor for her. She's number 21 for the Bruins. Drew Zuha from three-point land. Nothing but net on that one. That's what the Bruins wanted to see. First tray of the night for the home team. 9-9 our score. Nielsen, that left leg in a heavy brace across the way. Here's Wenger in the shot. Foul goes against Janelle Coleman, her first personal foul. Brooke Badavinek back into the game for the Ore Diggers as her teammate Liz Wengren waits at the free throw line for 2 shots. 2 team fouls against the Bruins, 3 team fouls against Montana Tech. First free throw is good. Montana Tech back on top by 1. And second free throw follows suit as well. Into the game for the Bruins, number 45, Taryn Godsey. Godsey, a freshman out of Nebraska City. She had some big points and some big minutes last night against Montana Western when Zakiya Mohammed had some time on the bench. Bruins looking for Godsey to have another good night. Janelle Coleman trying to drive the left side, cut off there by Badavinek. And that one's stolen away, taken away. Heading down the court, Badavinek. And the shot won't go down, but she draws the foul. That'll go against Taryn Godsey, first personal foul. So more free throws upcoming for the Ore Diggers. This will be their 5th and 6th free throws of the quarter. Back into the game comes Caroline Ellison, giving Drew Zuha a little rest. 2-point lead for the team from Butte, Montana. Free throw is good. Ore Diggers now 4 out of 5. 4 out of 6 on the free throw line, but a whistle. And one of the Bruins was in the lane too quickly. Not sure who it was, but that'll be another free throw. So Brooke Badavinek at the line once again. This time she makes it good. So a 4-point lead, courtesy of 4 made free throws over the last 2 trips down the floor for the Ore Diggers. Godsey with the basketball. To Joy Barron, stolen away. Badavinek again with the steal. Now it's a foot race down the floor. She'll convert on the steal and layup. So a couple of runs by the Ore Diggers, an 8-point run and now a 6-point run, have given them the 6-point lead. Here's Caroline Ellison, an opening down the lane, but blocked by Nielsen. Good help defense by the post player. Again, the Ore Diggers on the run down the floor. Nice pass inside. The basket is good. Wengren on the assist to Hallie Neibauer. So another 8-point run for Montana Tech. Bruins trying to get an offensive flow going here, but the Ore Diggers doing a nice job in their man-to-man defense. Here's Wharton to the near side to Barron, trying to look inside to Coleman. Here's Taryn Godsey up off the mark. Nice work inside by Coleman. Janelle with the putback for the Bruin basket. 6-point lead for the visitors after that basket. Offensive rebound and basket. Into the corner, left all alone. The shot no good. The miss by Neibauer, the rebound by Barron. Bruins trying to put together a little run, little string of their own. Here's Taylor Wharton, the freshman, and her pass intercepted. Good anticipation there by Brooke Badavinek. Inside to Nielsen. Godsey there on defense, goes straight up, and the shot misses off the rim. Joy Barron pulls down another rebound. The Bruins trying to run a 2-on-2 break. Wharton, a 3-point look, and it misses. Nielsen picks up the board, and quickly down the floor come the Diggers. Nothing available there, so foul's coming up here on the grab inside. That's going to go against Caroline Ellison. Her first personal foul, 4th team fouls. We're under 1 minute remaining in the quarter. Zakiya Mohammed back in for the Bruins. Emma Russell checks in for the first time tonight for the Bruins. A couple of subs into the game for Montana Tech. Drew Zuha also checking back in for Bellevue. Entry pass to Wengren. Nothing available in the lane, so she'll pull it back out. Almost taken away by Joy Barron. Shot clock down to 10 seconds. Bounce pass inside. Nice look on the assist Rachel Van Blaricon with the assist, and Brooke Badavinek continuing to add to her totals, whereas we're at 30 seconds remaining. Badavinek now with 10 points in this first quarter, double digits already for her. That's what she averages per game. She's got that in the first period. Janelle Coleman from distance brings the Bruins a little bit closer. Her second basket of the night. 9 seconds and counting. Drive down the left side of the lane. Shot off the glass too high. No good. Rebounded by the Orediggers, but the pass goes out of bounds. The Bruins will have 2.7 seconds to get off a final shot here in this first quarter. Let's see if the Bruins can get that accomplished. Full court man-to-man pressure. Into Emma Russell. Knocked away. The shot won't count if it goes. As it's tipped away, we are at the end of one period of play. And the Montana Tech Orediggers 19. The home team, Bellevue University Bruins 14. Well, kind of a stop and start first period of play. We got that in the books, however. Bruins trail by 5. Again, that text message number, if you want to send along your greetings this afternoon, whether you're a Bruin fan or a Digger fan, 402-515-7654. My name is Mick Krupski. I'm the broadcaster for the Bruins over the last 18 seasons. We bring you men's and women's basketball, women's volleyball, baseball, and other sports as well when we can get those on the schedule too. Old high school coach that still likes to be around sports. First quarter summary, Montana Tech shooting 50% from the floor. Bellevue Bruins got into a couple of ruts along the way. They're only shooting 28%. 7 made baskets for Montana Tech, 5 made baskets for the Bruins. 5 of 6 from the free throw line is Montana Tech, 2 for 2 for the Bellevue Bruins. Brooke Badavinek with 10 points, the leading scorer for Montana Tech. Janelle Coleman with 5 points, the leading scorer for the Bellevue Bruins. Kind of a small crowd on hand this afternoon. It's bitterly cold outside, 10 degrees with a northwest wind gusting over 20 miles an hour. So the comforts of home calling a lot of people today. So hopefully if that's where you are listening into the broadcast, stay warm. Montana Tech with the first possession of the second period. The drive by Badavinek. Her shot no good. Zakaya Mohammed with the defensive rebound for the Bruins. Bruins down by 5, a couple of possessions. Almost that Badavinek again with another steal. I think that's her third steal of the game as she coasts down the floor with the layup, and now a dozen points for her. The Butte, Montana native loving the new Fieldhouse here at Bellevue University. First time ever these two schools have met in women's basketball. The new Frontier Conference. 12 schools. Members of the former Frontier Conference and the North Star Athletic Association. A shot from distance by Dre Kiles. That one's off the mark. Orediggers are running the floor. The shot off the mark by Haber. Bruins pull it away. Here's Kiles down the floor. Across the way to Caroline Ellison. She's pretty much alone. 3-point shot rattles off the rim. The rebound pulled down by Carlson. Montana Tech will set up in the half court. Carlson trying to drive. Dre Kiles keeping her out of the lane. Outside to Nielsen. She's trying to go baseline. Gets up and under. Nice move behind the backboard by Olivia Nielsen. Orediggers extend their lead to 9 points. Again, Montana Tech, the number 12 rated team in the NAI coaches top 25 poll. Drew Zuha, top of the key. She's got one trade to her credit thus far. Here's Dre Kiles. Has an opening from just beyond the free throw arc. Ball loose on the floor across the way. Joy Barron comes away to grab it, but she's standing on the baseline. So it'll be Oredigger basketball. Emma Russell checking back in for the home team. Rachel Van Blaricon and Hallie Neibauer back in for Montana Tech. Men's contest to follow. Tip-off scheduled for 7 p.m. Central Time. 6 p.m. for those of you listening in out in Montana or elsewhere in the Mountain Time Zone. Entry pass into the hands of Haber. Guarded by Mohammed. She'll leave it behind for Van Blericom. She'll shoot, but off the mark. Now it's a foot race to the corner for the basketball. It'll be Bellevue basketball as it was last touched by Neibauer. And now the two officials confirm to make sure that they are on the same page. They are. Bellevue ball. Two minutes, 15 seconds have gone by in this second quarter. Montana Tech coming off a loss last night to number 7 rated Dakota State. Bruins coming off a win against Montana Western. Joy Barron drives left side, splits between a couple of defenders. Nice left-handed shot inside by Joy Barron. Barron with 4 points on the game. Driving down the floor comes Carlson. She's denied by Ellison. Crossover dribble by Van Blericom. She'll kick it out to the corner to Haber. She's off the mark. Loose ball on the floor. It's a tie-up. Possession arrow points to the Bellevue Bruins. Quick one. 3 fresh bodies on the floor for Montana Tech. Wangeren, Nielsen, and somebody else. I think, not sure who it was, so we'll leave it unsaid. Here's Caroline Ellison working against some backcourt pressure, trying to avoid a double-team trap. She'll pass it off the hand of a defender. It'll stay Bellevue basketball. Van Blericom got a hand on it, deflecting it out of bounds. So Joy Barron, just outside of the half-court stripe, will inbound it. Be careful tiptoeing around that half-court stripe there, Caroline. Excuse me, Ellison trying to direct traffic for the Bruins. Bruins have been trying to get the ball inside to Zakai Mohammed, but the Ore Diggers have been making that very difficult. They know who the Bruins' leading scorer is. Ellison on the drive, the kick-out pass. Barron for 3 points, too strong. Trying to trace it down in the corner. Nielsen, the first one to get to it. And it'll say Bellevue basketball. Emma Russell, and Olivia Nielsen in the foot race to try to get to that basketball. Bellevue will run the stack play. Ellison will be the trigger person. Bounce pass to Barron. Joy kind of left alone to work one-on-one if she wants to. Instead, passing out. Here's the ice entry pass to Muhammad. So Kyle one-on-one against Nielsen. Good work inside. Just a little too strong off the back of the rim. Nielsen with another rebound. That's her 4th of the game. And she brings it up the floor. Pass inside. Now pass outside. Izzy RV was the other person to come in during that last substitution. The jump shot by Liz Wangeren is good. And Montana Tech pulling a little further away. 9-point lead. That matches their largest lead of the game so far. The drive in the lane by Ellison. She's denied anything further. Now the kick out to Zuha. Here's Zakai Mohammed. She'll pull up the shot from the free throw line area and bank it home. Zakai Mohammed with 4 points. Zakai averaging 12 points per game. Drive down the right side. That's just a muscle play by Hallie Neibauer to get the basket. This Ore Digger squad, a pretty physical crew. Joy Barron loses the handle of the basketball, winds up in the hands of Van Blericom. And that'll be the second personal foul against Zakai Mohammed, trying to get the ball back. Zakai will head to the bench. Janelle Coleman coming in her stead. Dre Kyle's back in as well, as long as some subs for Montana Tech, including Avery Carlson. And Bellevue head coach James Benford will call a timeout with 5:10 remaining in this second quarter. Montana Tech 27, the Bellevue Bruins 18. Trying to keep the Diggers from extending that lead too much further. Ice calls the timeouts. 10-year in the program for Coach James Ice Benford. He's the interim coach for the remainder of this year. A couple of more texts in the queue. Taylor's sister Taryn says, "Go Bruins," listening in from Cedar Falls, Iowa. Glad you're with us today, Taryn. Hopefully you bring the Bruins some good luck listening in. At Butte Central High School, Batavinek holds the single-season scoring record with 671 points as a junior and the single-game record of 42 points. Thanks for passing that along. Good information. That's Brooke Batavinek. 12 points thus far in today's action. She leads her team. 5 points from Janelle Coleman, the top scorer so far for the Bellevue Bruins. Bruins coming off a long road stretch. They had 3 consecutive weekends where they had Friday, Saturday road trips to Montana and North Dakota. Good to be back home in the friendly confines of Bellevue University. Again, a little backcourt pressure. 2 guards able to get across the timeline in plenty of time. Avery Carlson with the basketball. Over to the right side to Rachel Van Blaricon. Now in the hands of Liv Wangeren. In the lane, nowhere to go. The kick out pass, 3-point attempt is no good. Janelle Coleman pulls away the defensive rebound after the miss from Van Blaricon. Bruins like to make a little bit of a run. A couple of 8-point runs by Montana Tech earlier in this game. Bounce pass inside to Barron. Now to Coleman. Janelle has it bounced away, but over to Joy Barron. Janelle with the assist. Joy with the bucket. Bruins close the deficit to 7 points. Around the horn, passing. Now into the middle. The shot is up and in. Credit Hallie Haber with the assist and Liv Wangeren with the basket. Foul on the play against Drew Zuha. That's her first personal. Checking back in comes Hallie Neibauer for Montana Tech, and that should take us to an under 5 timeout, I believe. And maybe not. We had a timeout at 5:10, but that was a call timeout by the Bruins. And the free throw is good. I guess we'll skip that under 5 timeout in the second quarter. 10-point lead. That's the largest of the night for the Diggers. Again, the Bruins trying to stay within distance against this number 12 rated team. Here's Joy Barron trying to work that left side. Switches hands. Nice move by Joy. First year in the Bellevue program. She's a significant contributor this season. Second place in both points and rebounds for the Bruins. Nice head fake and little runner in the lane. That's Brooke Batavinek. She continues to have the hot hand for the visitors. Here's Drew Zuha, 3-point attempt. Second tray of the night for the sophomore, Drew Zuha. Ray Quinn, the PA announcer, loves the Zuha call on those trays. Bounce pass inside, almost stolen away, down to the floor. Goes Neibauer, a whistle, and it's stepping on the sideline. So the turnover will give the ball back to the Bellevue Bruins. At 3 by Drew, made it a 7-point game as subs come in for both squads, including Emma Russell for the Bruins. Bellevue with only 10 players available again tonight. Jay Barrett out for the season. Danny Coyer out for the season. Kaylee Dinker also unavailable, possibly coming back later on. Here's Caroline Ellison coming, working off the screen from Barron into the lane. Caroline, the drive, left-hand shot, no good. May have been deflected by Nielsen in the paint. Here's Carlson, point guard, handling the ball frequently for the Diggers. Nielsen harassed by a couple of Bruins. Carlson once again. Nielsen from behind the arc. Badavinek as the shot clock down to about 5, tipped away. Caroline Ellison comes away with a rebound. I think it was deflected too here by Dre Kiles. Driving down the lane. Here's Kiles over to Russell. Quick release shot for 3. Friendly shooter's roll. 3 or 4 touches on the rim as Emma Russell with the tray. That helps the Bruins' cause as they were trailing by 10 a few moments ago. Now they've cut the deficit to only 4. Drive down the left side of the lane. Carlson, no good on the attempt. Loose ball in the lane. Nielsen, the one who grabs it and puts it back with the left hand. Nearing the 1.5 minutes remaining before halftime mark. Here's Barron into the corner to Ellison. Now Janelle Coleman across the way to Barron. Joy thought about the pass to the corner, but that would have been picked off. Joy in the drive, right side, off the glass and in. Joy Barron with the Bruin bucket. Couple of possessions remaining in this second quarter. As we're near the 1 minute mark, Badavinek again continues to put points on the board. She's up to 14 first half points. Not sure what her career high is at Montana Tech, but just got information about 42 points was her high school career high. Here's Dre Kiles trying to drive right side. Switches hand, it rolls, but rolls off the rim. Badavinek with the rebound. She'll lead the charge up the floor. Coleman gets in front to stop her advance. To the corner, Badavinek lost it momentarily, then gets it back. Nielsen working against Barron in the paint. It's off of Nielsen. It'll be Bellevue basketball on the turnover. Good work by Joy Barron to tip it away inside. Van Blaricom, Wangeren, and Haber back in for Montana Tech. 23 seconds remaining, so the Bruins can take their time on this possession, let the shot clock run down, and get the final shot of the quarter. They trail currently by 7 points. They've been as distant as 10, as close as 4 in this second quarter. Here's Drozu, Janelle Coleman, Emma Russell. 10 seconds remaining. Now the Bruins will go to work. Kiles trying to find an opening, harassed by Carlson. 2 seconds left. Joy Barron with the left hand off the glass. No good. And that's how the first half will come to an end. The visiting Montana Tech University Oar-Diggers 37 and the home team Bellevue University Bruins 30. Solid effort by both teams in this first half. Again, a couple of runs gave the Oar-Diggers a lead in that first quarter, but the Bellevue Bruins have continued to fight back. Let's take a quick look at some of the stats at halftime. Montana Tech continues to outshoot the Bruins 52% to 36%. 15 made baskets by Montana Tech, 12 for the Bellevue Bruins. Bruins with 4 3-pointers made, only 1 from Montana Tech. The strength of their game is inside rather than outside. Bruins have done a much better job of handling the basketball tonight than they did last night. Only 7 turnovers, also 7 turnovers against the Oar-Diggers. Rebounding battle, Oar-Diggers a slight advantage there, 20 boards to 16 for the Bruins. Points in the paints, as you would expect, Montana Tech with the advantage, 24 to 16. Let's take a look at some of the individual statistics in that first half. Brooke Badavinek with 17 points, the top scorer for Montana Tech. Liv Wangeren with 6 points for Olivia Nielsen, 4 points for Hallie Neibauer, and 2 for Rachel Van Blaricom. So 5 players in the scoring column for the visiting Oar-Diggers. For the Bellevue Bruins, Joy Barron with 10 points, top scorer for the Bellevue Bruins. Drew Zuha with 6 points on a pair of made trays. Janelle Coleman has 5, Zakaya Mohammed with 4. 3 for Emma Russell, and 2 for Caroline Ellison. That's how we stand through the first 20 minutes of play. As you see down on the floor, the men's squads coming out to get a little extra practice in before they will tip it off at 7 o'clock tonight Central Time. All right, first half in the books. Give you another reminder of the text message number if you'd like to send along those greetings. 402-515-7654. I'm going to take about a 7 or 8 minute break and then come back with more exciting women's basketball. Keep it right here on the Bellevue Bruin Sports Network. Back in a bit. Welcome back to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. We are finishing up our halftime break. The visiting Montana Tech University Oredigers with a 37-30 lead over the home team Bruins in this one. A big first half for Brooke Badavinek leading her team. She has 17 of their 37 points, so almost half of the points scored by Brooke Badavinek. For the Bellevue Bruins, Joy Barron, the leading scorer with 10 points. One of the ironies or statistical quirks of the first half, all the points scored, the 67 total points, coming from the 10 starters, 5 on each team. Nobody off the bench has scored a point yet in tonight's action, so let's see if that comes into play more in the second half. Quick look at our text messages. One came in during halftime. Seth Arthur and James Barron are rooting for Joy Barron. They're listening in Pocatalico, West Virginia. So all the way over there near the East Coast. We're glad you guys are with us tonight. Joy's having a good game with those 10 points and 5 rebounds. That leads the Bruins in both of those categories in the first half of action. Quick look at the schedule for the rest of the month of January for the Bellevue Bruins. After tonight's contest, the Bruins go back on the road to North Dakota. Next Friday, the 24th, the Bruins will be at Dakota State. And on Saturday, just a one game next weekend, that Friday game on the 24th. Let's check that. That's a Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So I'll get those numbers correct at some point here. So Saturday in Madison, South Dakota against Dakota State. And then the following weekend up to North Dakota. On Friday the 30th, they'll be at Mayville State. And on Saturday the 31st, they'll end the month against Valley City State. The next home game for the Bruins will be here on February 6th as Carroll College comes to town. Carroll doing a good job on both the men's and women's side of things. Carroll is currently tied for first on the women's side of things. And they're tied for first on the men's side of things as well, with 10-2 records for both of their squads. All right, we're just about ready to get back to the action here. A quick salute to former Bellevue volleyball great Olivia Gallus in the crowd here tonight. She was a 4-time NAIA All-American setter for the Bruins during her 5-year career. Good to see Olivia back. Never got a chance to play here in the new Fieldhouse. She was the leading setter, career setter for the Bruins in the old Gordon Rozier Athletic Center. Opening possession of the third period will belong to Montana Tech, and we are underway once again. Avery Carlson with the basketball to start things off. An errant pass to the corner, saved by Olivia Nielsen. Halfway through the shot clock already for the Diggers. Driving down the line is Haber. Pull-up jump shot by Carlson. Too short. Battle for the rebound. Winds up in the hands of Caroline Ellison. Well, the Bruins defense up to the task on the first possession for Montana Tech. Bounce pass inside to Zakiya Muhammad, but a good read by Avery Carlson to make the steal. So both teams unsuccessful in their opening attempts in this third quarter. Driving in the lane, the pass goes out of bounds. Liv Wengeren trying to get it over there. One of her teammates, but it goes out of bounds. All right, Bruins with the possession. Here's Dre Kiles. Kick out to Drew Zuha. Drew with a couple of three-pointers tonight so far. Bounce pass to Zakiya. She's got a one-on-one situation here, oftentimes against a double team, working against Nielsen. Zakiya, a strong move inside off the glass for the basket. 6 points for Zakiya Muhammad. Carlson trying to get things going for her team in offense. That's simply a handoff, and it's effective. Hands it right over to Liv Wengeren. And the senior from Plentywood, Montana, knocks down the tray. 8-point lead. Here's a drive by Drake. Kyle's a little bit too strong off the glass. Switched to that left hand, but couldn't get it to go. Carlson again, the ball handler for Montana Tech. Here's Nielsen from distance. That's off the mark. Bruins trying to box out inside. Drake Kyles comes away with the rebound. Quickly up the floor, trying to see if the Bruins can take advantage. Diggers back on defense. Here's Drew Zuha. Now Zakaya. She'll step back as the Bruins trying to get something going on offense. It's a drive by Mohammed. She's wrapped up. Foul's going to go against Hallie Haber. And Zakaya Mohammed will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. 2 subs coming in. Neibauer and Van Blericom. Zakaya, the leading scorer, leading rebounder for the Bruins, and a 65% free throw shooter as well. Makes the first. Here's the old, hopefully not announcer's jink, but Zakaya perfect from the free throw line tonight in 3, and there it is. The miss, 3 out of 4 now. After that one, loose ball on the floor. That's a tie-up. Possession arrow points to the home team. So Bellevue will get the ball back on an inbounds play on the tie-up. Again, that text message number, if you'd like to join us tonight, 402-515-7654. Mohammed will launch a 3-point attempt off the back of the iron. Rebound brought down by Hallie Haber. Drive trying to work inside to Nielsen. Bruins with good help defense on the play with Barron and Mohammed. Back out to Neibauer. She's trying to work inside against Zakaya. Shot short, but the follow-up. Good position by Rachel Van Blericon to get to the basketball ahead of her Bruin defender. The lead back up to 9 points. Bruins trying to keep pace. Again, they got as close as 4 points. Here's a drive by Zuha. A little bit too far underneath, however, on the shot. On the run and converting, Brooke Badavinek. And a timeout called by head coach James Ice Benford, as he does not like the way this third quarter has gotten off to a start. Diggers outscoring Bellevue 7-3 since the halftime break. Let's do our coach's salute. Interim head coach James Ice Benford, his first season as head coach. He's been a part of the program for all 10 years of the existence of the Bellevue women's basketball program. His assistant coach in his second year is Alex Boji. For the Diggers of Montana Tech, Jeff Graham, his 4th season at the helm of their program. Frankie Bignell and Aubrey Rademacher are the assistant coaches for Montana Tech. Again, out of Butte, Montana. Learning a lot about Montana geography this year as 6 Montana schools joining with the other schools in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska to form the new Frontier Conference of 12 members. Quick look at the women's side of the Frontier Conference. Right now, Dakota State, Montana Tech, and Carroll tied for first. Identical 10-2 records. Then comes Rocky Mountain at 9-3, Montana Northern at 8-4, Providence at 7-5, Montana Western 5-7, Bellevue 4-8, Bismarck State 3-8, Dickinson State 3-9, Valley City 2-9, and Mayville State looking for their first win of the year, 0-12. Bellevue back to work on offense, trying to get some offense going here in the second period. Only 1 basket so far for the Bruins in the first 3.5 minutes. Here's Caroline Ellison on the drive. That one's deflected out of bounds. I think it was Haber who got the deflection on that shot inside. Here's Zuha. Thought about the look from distance. Instead, inside to Barron. Contact made inside. Joy just before the buzzer. Gets it off and banks it home. Bruins using every part of that 30-second shot clock. Drive down the lane, contact made, and now a whistle. Not sure. The whistle was late. We may have a challenge here on that last shot by Joy Barron. Ball has to leave her hands before the shot clock buzzer goes off. 2 of the 3 officials conferring at the scorer's bench. And yes, I believe that is what we're going to have, an official review of that last shot that was counted as a basket by the Bruins' Joy Barron. So the officials will gather. 2 of the 3 will gather around the review computer. And we'll have a momentary pause while they do that. That gives the coaches a chance to talk to their teams as well. A 7-5 advantage in this third quarter for Montana Tech. It was a 37-30 lead at halftime, so they've continued to expand it up to the current 9 points. Kind of a strange time to ask for the review on that. Montana Tech was driving in a battle for the rebound, but Montana Tech had to have possession of the basketball when that request was made from the bench for the official review. Looking for some official statements from the officials and talking to both head coaches about it. And whose possession will it be? Looks like Montana Tech is going back to play defense, so the review is upheld and the Bellevue Bruins will have possession of the basketball. Well, Bruins come out well on both ends of that. They get the 2 points and they get the basketball. Again, the Bruins tasked to try to close the 9-point deficit to something a little bit more manageable. Here's Janelle Coleman across the way, trying to look inside to Zakiya Mohammed. Zakiya over the top pass to Emma Russell. Her shot is blocked. Emma gets it back, drives inside. Her shot short this time. Tipped around. Joy Barron has it. Joy left hand off the glass, up and in. Nice job by Joy to get the basketball and put it right back in. Barron now with a dozen points on the evening. 6 of 10 from the floor. Zakiya Mohammed with the steal over to Caroline Ellison, and then a whistle blows. A foul will go against Montana Tech's Rachel Van Blericom. Back in Avery Carlson. Offense seems to flow better when Carlson is the point guard. She's back in to lead the charge. Bruins down by 7. Here's Ellison looking for somebody. Couple of cutters in the lane now. Now the other 4 kind of standing around until Janelle Coleman comes around the corner, but Janelle had stepped on the sideline as she made contact with the basketball. So the turnover against the Bruins. Each team with 2 turnovers in this second half. Each team had 7 turnovers in the first half. Carlson, crossover dribble, cut off on her path to the basket. On the near side is Van Blericom. Bounce pass inside. Left-handed shot, no good, off the miss by Haber. Loose basketball. Pulled away by Neibauer. Van Blericom on the baseline drive, cut off with good backside defense. Shot clock at 10, blocked inside. Zakiya Mohammed on the block against the shot from Brooke Badavinik. Janelle Coleman tries to avoid the tie-up as there's a couple of Digger defenders, and one of them will be called for the foul that's going to go against Hallie Neibauer. First personal foul, third team foul. The Bruins have not yet committed a foul in this third period. Drake Kyles checks back in for the Bruins. Liv Wengren checks back in for the Orediggers, and we're at our under 5 timeout in the third quarter. Our score, Montana Tech 44, Bellevue University 37. A battle between Montana and Nebraska in the Frontier Conference. Obviously, the Bruins, the only Nebraska member of the conference, so a lot of travel distances between Montana and Nebraska. Our next text in the queue, go Digs. Heart emojis. Basketball emojis. Some kind of digging tool emojis. Cheering from the High Line of Montana. Thanks for joining us tonight. So we've got some Digger fans and some Bruin fans sending along their text message greetings. One more time, I'll give that number if you want to join us. 402-515-7654. Mick Krupski here behind the microphone. Ray Quinn on the PA. Take him out, Ray. There we go. All right, Bruins on the inbound play. Here's Kyles looking to Zakiah Mohammed. Emma Russell trying to free herself coming around the corner. Nothing available. Now Emma flashes out. Try to get the bounce pass inside. Instead pulls up, takes a shot. No good. Badavinek with the rebound for the Diggers. Over to Carlson. She'll reset up the offense. Very patient attack, according to Ice Benford. Not afraid to run some time. Barron steps up to try to defend. Here's Carlson once again. To the near side to Haber. She'll kick out to Carlson. Thought about the three. Instead drives near the lane. Loses the handle. Shot clock down to 1. That'll be a shot clock violation. Good defense by the Bruins. Preventing that shot, so the shot got off right before the buzzer, but the deflection on the play. Bellevue picks up possession after the turnover against Montana Tech. 7-point lead. 3:35 remaining in this quarter. Joy Barron has an open look for three. A little bit too strong, but Zakiah with the offensive rebound. Works inside, good steps inside. Nielsen got a hand on the ball, but also some body there as well. That foul will go against Olivia Nielsen. That's her second. So Haber with 3 personal fouls. She's the only one with that many. Zakiah Mohammed, who makes frequent trips to the free throw line, is back there once again. And off the front of the rim. Zakiah with 7 points and 4 rebounds tonight in 19 minutes of action. That one is good. Add one more to her total and one more to the Bellevue total. Now a 6-point deficit. Wengren trying to drive left side of the lane. Turnaround jump shot a little bit too short. Zakiah Mohammed backing out her defender. That allows Drake Kyles to come in to pick up the ball. Here's Janelle Coleman on the run. Splits defenders. Turns around. Has a blocked inside by Badavinek. Janelle still battling inside. Gets another shot off. And she'll go to the free throw line. Foul goes against Brooke Badavinek. Her first personal foul. 5th team foul. So the Bruins are in the shooting bonus for free throws the rest of the quarter. Bellevue has not committed a foul in this entire third quarter. With 2:52 to go, here's Janelle Coleman at the free throw line. First one is good. First year in the program for Janelle as a junior college transfer. First one is good. Second one is not. Liv Wengren with the basketball. Outside the arc. Janelle Coleman on her on the defensive assignment. That one will be an over and back violation. Hallie Haber couldn't handle that pass, a little bit too tight for that situation. The 10th turnover of the game against the Orediggers. Again, Montana Tech without their leading scorer and leading rebounder, Hadley Humphreys. There's Coleman on the drive. Contact made, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Janelle. Defensive position established there. So a nice play on the defensive side for the Orediggers. Bruins backcourt pressure. Van Blericom able to dribble through the pressure. Into the hands of Hallie Haber. Now back to Van Blericom. Shot clock into single digits, trying to work inside. Pass in traffic. Now 3 Bruins surrounding Rachel Van Blericom inside. Or not Van Blericom, but that's Hallie Neibauer. And after all that, it'll be Montana Tech basketball as whatever Bruin defender had possession of the basketball stepped on the baseline. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Entry pass nicely executed to Olivia Nielsen, who makes the catch and shoot. Back to a 7-point lead. Bruins have been behind by as many as double digits, as close as 4. And that's going to be a foul away from the basket. Offensive foul, so back-to-back offensive fouls, this time against Joy Barron for setting an illegal screen. Drew Zuha back in, replacing Emma Russell. Liv Wengren back in, replacing Olivia Nielsen. Again, the Bruins try to put on some pressure, try to force a turnover. Into the hands of Avery Carlson. She gets across the timeline, then a bounce pass. Almost a traveling violation. The official raised his arm as if he wanted to call it. Play continues for the Orediggers. 1:20 left in the quarter. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nice pass inside. Hallie Haber with the basket off the assist from Liv Wengren. Back to a 9-point deficit for the Bruins. Trying to get something here before the end of the quarter. 1 minute to go. Bruins could get 2 possessions. Inside to Barrett. Nice entry pass. The left-handed shot. Assist to Zakaya. Basket for Joy. Barron now with 16 points. That leads the Bruins. More than double what any other Bruin has on the night. About a 14 seconds difference between game and shot clock, but that one, a 3-point effort from Liv Wengren. And now the Bruins will hold for the final shot, trailing by 10 points. The Bruins would love to make this deficit 7 or 8 before we enter the final 10 minutes. Here's Josoni Kyles, dribbling around a little bit, taking some time off the clock. Now down to 5. Here's Drew Zuha. Inside to Zakai, tipped away. Defensive play by Hallie Neibauer. And that's how the third quarter will come to an end. Montana Tech 51, the Bellevue Bruins 41. Again, the Bruins making that effort to get close, but outscored 14-11 by the Orediggers in that third period. Bruins trailed most of last night's game against Montana Western, but made a fourth quarter comeback to win that one by 1 point. Let's see if the Bruins have a similar scenario in them for this evening. All right, let's look at some stats for the Bellevue Bruins. Only 35% shooting from the floor. That's below their 40% season average. Whereas Montana Tech shooting 49%, that's above their 43% average. 21 baskets for the Orediggers, 16 for the Bruins. Rebounding battle is very close. It's always a key to the game. 28 rebounds for the Bruins, 27 for the Orediggers. Bruins with 4 3-pointers, 3 3-pointers for the Orediggers. So the Bruins hoping to be a little bit more efficient from behind the arc, 4 out of 13. Let's see if the Bruins, again, have some 3-pointers in them for the final stanza. Individual leaders. Brooke Badavinik has been the leading scorer. 19 points for her. Liv Wengeren with 14 points, 2 double-digit scores for the Orediggers. For the Bellevue Bruins, Joy Barron with 16 points. She's the only one in double digits for the home team.
It's here. Good luck.
Aunt Bev watching Joy Barron and the Bruins from Minnesota. And thanks for announcing the game. My pleasure. I enjoy doing this fun task for the Bellevue Bruins. One final call out, 402-515-7654 if you want to join us via the text. Bruins with the opening possession of the fourth quarter. Working the ball around the perimeter. Barron has it, tries to go left side. She's denied going there. Dre Kyles, top of the key. Now to Caroline Ellison. Shot clock down to 3. Ellison with the left-handed shot with 1 second left. The Bruins convert. Caroline Ellison now 4 points on the game. Bruins need to make some defensive stops. Pull up jump shot in the lane. That's not going to be one of them. As Liv Wengeren, she's had the hot hand as of late, puts down that 8-footer. Barron to Kyles to Zuha. Now Ellison. Zakiya Muhammad tries to make herself available, has to come way outside of the lane to get there. Trying to work off the screen is Barron down the lane, left side, right side, Joy Barron, another bucket for her, 18 points for Joy. Bruins get a little bit closer once again. Joy's family loving the output from her tonight. Pass in the lane, that's off of Nielsen, and the Bellevue Bruins will have possession of the basketball. Joy is 1 point away from her season high. She scored 19 points back on November 15th against Dakota State. Ellison pivots to Kyles. Inside, Nielsen tips it away. Zakiya gets it back. Entry pass to Barron, but a little bit too far out of her reach. And the turnover against the Bruins. Each team now with 12 turnovers on the evening. Let's see if Montana Tech will slow down the pace a little bit with the 8-point lead and 8 minutes to go in the contest. Carlson into the lane, cut off by Kyles. Nielsen guarded by Barron. On the low right block, fadeaway jump shot. That's way off the mark. Zakiya with the rebound. Ellison has it knocked away by Carlson. Bruins will retain possession. Sub in for Montana Tech. Hallie Neibauer from Chinook, Montana, back into the game. Again, Bruins trying to look inside to Zakiya, but post players for Montana Tech making that difficult. Ellison crossover, splits defenders. There's a whistle on the drive to the basket. Caroline Ellison will have a couple of free throws upcoming as a foul is called on Hallie Neibauer, her second personal, first team foul of this fourth period. Again, we want to remind you, after tonight's contest, we'll have our post-game wrap-up with head coach James Benford and one of the Bellevue players, and then men's action to follow. Tip-off for that one, 7 o'clock Central Time. Caroline makes good on the first free throw. 5 points now for her. And there's number 6. Again, backcourt pressure. But Carlson just blows by. Kyle's on that to get it across the timeline. Now the Diggers will set up in the half court. Neibauer shoots from distance and knocks down the tray. Hallie Neibauer. 7 points on the night for her. That one a real big one to push the lead back up to 9 points. Bruins again continuing to get close, but not quite close enough to take the lead. Here's Zuha. Kyle's back to Drew. Drew look for three and got it. Her third tray of the night. Drew Zuha, 3 for 3 from distance. Bruins back to within 6. Onus now on the Bruins defense. That's going to be a foul against Caroline Ellison, who will shove in the back against Liv Wangeren. Back in for the Diggers, Rachel Van Blaricom and Olivia Nielsen. So Jeff Graham keeping his revolving door of substitutions there, keeping fresh bodies on the floor. Bruins haven't substituted quite as much on the game. Into the hands of Wangeren. She's denied inside. Kick out pass, drive, shot in the lane. Little 6-footer. Hangs on the rim momentarily, then goes down. Hallie Neibauer with the bucket. Neibauer with 7 points on the night for the Diggers. Bruins perimeter passing, trying to look inside. Nielsen doing everything she can to keep it away from Zakai Mohammed. Bearing a three-point attempt. That's no good. Olivia Nielsen with the defensive rebound. 5.5 minutes remaining in tonight's contest. Bruins trying to pull the upset against the number 12 rated team in the NAIA. Nielsen from distance, bang, knocks that one down. Nielsen, her 11 points for Olivia Nielsen. Driving the lane, Caroline will go to the free throw line. Let's see who's going to get the foul. It'll go against Rachel Van Blaricom, her second personal, second team foul of the period. Emma Russell back in for the home team. Couple of subs back in for the Diggers, Avery Carlson and Hallie Haber. First one is good by Ellison. 7 points for Caroline on the evening so far. And add one more, make it 8. Janelle Coleman checks back in for the Bellevue Bruins. Dribbling through the defense is Wangeren. Contact made on the shot inside. Emma Russell is going to be called for the foul. That'll send Hallie Haber to the free throw line for 2 shots. Emma's first, team second. As Haber steps to the line. 52% free throw shooter on the season. And gets a friendly roll off both the rim and the backboard that time. Both teams shooting about the same from the free throw line on the season. 71% for the Diggers, 70% for the Bruins. Back to a 10-point lead and make it 11. I believe the largest lead was 12 back in the second quarter. Well, the Bruins' job just got a little bit harder as Montana Tech continues to put points on the board on most possessions down the floor. Kyle's able to, nope, can't quite save it as she dribbles it on the baseline. The turnover against the Bruins. Should be our under 5-minute timeout. Yes, it is. 4:52 remaining. Montana Tech with an 11-point lead, 63-52. Joy Barron leading the Bruins with 18 points on the game. Drew Zuha with 9. They're the top 2 scorers for the home team. 8 points for Caroline Ellison. 8 points as well for Zakaya Mohammed. For Montana Tech, Brooke Badavinik with 19 points, 16 from Liv Wangeren. She's had the hot hand in the second half. Olivia Nielsen with 11 and Hallie Neibauer with 9, the top scorers for the visitors from Butte. Bellevue Bruins are 6-3 on the home court this season, but they have their work cut out for them with 4:52 remaining if they're going to pick up another W here. A win last night against Montana Western and another tough task tonight against Montana Tech. Across the timeline comes Hallie Haber. Brooke Badavinik over to Avery Carlson. And an offensive foul against one of the Orediggers trying to set a screen inside. That's going to go against Olivia Nielsen. That's her 3rd personal foul. So there's now 2 Diggers, Nielsen and Haber with 3 personal fouls. 4.5 to go. Bruins need points on most possessions down the floor, and then defensive stops on the other end. That's a statement of the obvious. Pass deflected to Mohammed. Here's Coleman. Janelle drive inside, kind of lost her footing there against defensive pressure put on her by Neibauer. Russell on defense against Carlson again. Diggers can afford to use as much of the clock as they want. Nielsen working her way around. Contact with Zakaya Mohammed. Let's see how it's going to go. And that's going to go against Zakaya. That'll be her 3rd personal foul, so she's the only Bruin in that category. So 2 free throws upcoming for Olivia Nielsen. That one rolls away. That one does not roll away. It's good. Nielsen steps out as Liv Wangeren checks back in. 12-point lead for Montana Tech. They've outshot the Bruins 52% to 38%. The Bruin offense. 3-point attempt by Coleman, no good. Badavinik with the defensive rebound and bringing it across the timeline. Again, look for the Orediggers to take time off the clock unless they get an easy look. Wanger will back it out, running more time off the clock. Now she'll try to penetrate. Kick back out to Badavinik. Now to Wangeren. Again, using most of the clock with 1 second left. The shot goes off. It misses everything, so it's a shot clock violation. But more importantly, they use 30 full seconds off the game clock on that possession. Caroline Ellison and Drew Zuha back in. 3:05 to go. I guess I could have to say the Bruins need to get points on pretty much every possession here and lock down defense. Ellison on the penetration, loses the basketball. Don't know if it's tipped away or just squirted away, but it'll be another turnover against the Bruins. Bruins have done a better job of handling the basketball, but every turnover here in the 4th quarter really hurts the effort. Now 16 on the game. Carlson penetrates, pulls it up, kicks it back out. Contact made inside, no foul called as Hallie Haber converts on the little baseline jumper. The 14-point lead is the largest of the night Emma Russell released for three off the side of the rim. No good. Carlson there for the rebound, and then she'll show down the pace as we near the 2-minute mark. Montana Tech outscoring Bellevue 15-11 in this fourth quarter so far. Wangren, the pass inside. Nice work between those two. We've seen that more than once tonight. Haber on the conversion off the assist from Wangren. And a timeout called by the Bellevue coaching staff. 68-52 our score. And unfortunately, the final score of this one is not going to reflect the effort of the Bellevue Bruins as they worked hard. They were close most of the contest, but now Montana Tech, the number 12 rated team in the nation in the NAIA coaches poll, pulling away. A 7-0 run over the last 3 minutes. Bellevue has had 3 turnovers in that scoring drought of about 3.5 minutes. So when the game is on the line, Montana Tech has risen to the occasion. I want to remind you, we'll have a visit with head coach James Benford after the game, maybe one of the Bellevue players as well. And then we'll get ready for the men's game to follow. 7 o'clock tip-off for that one. On the men's side, the Bellevue Bruins, 15-3 on the season, 10-2 in the conference. That's good enough for a tie for first place. The Montana Tech Orediger men are 15-3 as well. 9-3 in conference play. That puts them in fourth place after that 3-way tie for first. Minute 45 remaining in this one. Roll Diggs. Diggs hoping to make a run as deep as Coach Graham's sideline squat from T-Bone. Three-pointer from Zakaya Mohammed. Bruins still trying to make a game of it, but an uphill task. 11 points for Zakaya. Splitting the defenders on their way to the basket. Count the baskets. Foul's going to go against Drew Zuha, her second personal, 4th team foul. Another basket for Brooke Batavinek. 21 points for Batavinek tonight. Off the mark with that free throw, but sneaking in to get the rebound is Rachel Van Blericamp. So a minute 10 and counting as the Orediggers will come away with a road victory. Contact made on the drive into the lane by Liv Wangren. She'll get a couple of free throws. That last foul against Zakaya, her 4th personal. Though Zakaya had double-doubles her last 2 games, she reaches the double in points, but will be a little bit short in rebounds. First free throw is missed. Wangren with 16 points tonight. She got hot in the second half. Batavinek got hot in the first half to carry the load for the Orediggers. Back in comes Callie Neibauer with 1:05 remaining. Ellison spin move inside, left-handed shot, no good. But Caroline will go to the free throw line. Foul goes against Avery Carlson, just her first personal foul. More subs in for the Orediggers. Not letting anything to chance with this 16-point lead. Both teams still competing. Free throw is good. Ellison ups her total to 8. Excuse me, make that 9. Her high on the season, 11 points. She's at 10 right now That 11-point game for Caroline came against Providence back on December 12th. Bruins still with full-court pressure. Hard to make up a 14-point deficit with 50 seconds remaining, but a timeout called here by Jeff Graham, the coach of the Ore Diggers. With that timeout, he'll be able to advance the ball to half court should they desire that, a 30-second timeout. Or they can take it full court if they want, running time off the clock. Should be a real good battle in the men's contest tonight as these two teams, Bellevue and Montana Tech, in the top echelon of the Frontier Conference. Liz Wenger dribbles across the timeline, avoiding Bruin defenders. Now it's just a matter of playing keep away. Carlson, top of the key. Shot clock down to 12. Game clock at 30. Nielsen, a three-point attempt. She's made some from out there before. Loose ball on the floor. Zurzuha able to come away with it. Now tied up. Possession arrow points to Montana Tech. So they'll have it on the inbounds play. Van Blericom and Haber back into the game. 20 seconds on the second chance shot clock, 21 on the game clock. And again, they'll just run time down. Here's Van Blericom, dribbling outside. Gadavinek, a little runner in the lane, and one more bucket for her as she'll finish tonight with 23 points to lead her team. And our final score, Montana Tech 73 and the Bellevue Bruins 57. Again, a game the Bruins were in for about 3.5 quarters, but fell away in that fourth quarter as Montana Tech pulled away with the victory. Montana Tech is now 15-2 overall. 11-2 in the Frontier Conference. With the loss, the Bellevue Bruins dropped to 8-10 and 4-9 in conference play. Let's look at some of the final stats in this one. Montana Tech earned the victory by shooting 54% from the floor, making 29 baskets. The Bellevue Bruins shot 38%, making 20 baskets. 6 3-pointers for the Bruins. 5 for the Ore Diggers. Bruins 11 for 14 at the free throw line. Ore Diggers 10 for 13 at the free throw line. Bruins with 16 turnovers to 12 for the Ore Diggers. The rebounding battle, 32 total rebounds for Montana Tech to 30 for the Bellevue Bruins. So on most of the stats, fairly close, but that shooting percentage was the glaring area in which the Ore Diggers outshone the Bruins. Flip over here to some individual stats. Brooke Matafinek with 23 points led the way for the Ore Diggers. 17 points from Liv Wangerin. 12 points from Olivia Nielsen. And then single-digit scoring from Hallie Haber with 8 points. Rachel Van Blericom with 4 and 9 for Hallie Neibauer. So only 6 different players for the Ore Diggers scored in this one, but it was enough to put up 73 points to come away with the victory. For the Bellevue Bruins, Joy Barrett led the way with 18 points, 11 points for Zakaya Mohammed, 10 points for Caroline Ellison, so 3 double-digit scores for the Bruins. 9 points for Drew Zuha, 6 points for Janelle Coleman, and 3 for Emma Russell. So for the Bruins, just 6 players scored for the home team. The Bruins next in action next Saturday afternoon as they travel to Madison, South Dakota to take on Dakota State. Dakota State currently the number 7 rated team in the NAIA, so a very tough women's basketball conference is the Frontier Conference. Women's tip-off on Saturday against Dakota State at 2 o'clock. The men will tip off at 4. So just one game next weekend. The Bruins will get a little bit of a break. The entire conference will get a little bit of a break. Another road doubleheader the following week on January 30th and 31st. Mayville State on Friday, Valley City on Saturday, before the Bruins return home on February 6th to take on Carroll College. So still more basketball left to be played in this season. 11 remaining regular season games before the conference tournament, which will begin on February 27th. And that will be hosted by Montana Tech in Butte. Looking down on the floor, we see the men's squad coming out to get their warm-up action. We'll have that tip-off officially in 22 minutes from now as we await to see if James Bedford is going to be able to make his way up here to talk about tonight's contest. A good effort for the Bruins against a tough opponent. Montana Tech able to pull away in that fourth quarter for the victory. Turned out to be a very good weekend for Brooke Badavinek. She'd be the leading scorer for her squad in both the Friday night loss to Dakota State and this Saturday evening win against the Bellevue Bruins. She put up 14 points against Dakota State, and then her 23-point effort tonight against the Bellevue Bruins. Joy Barron's 18-point effort tonight, just one off her season high. She scored 19 against Dakota State back in November. Caroline Ellison also in double digits for the Bellevue Bruins tonight. She had 10 points, and that was 1 point off her season high. She's done that twice this season. Oh, just not quite enough offense tonight for the Bruins. We'll hang on here for just a little bit longer and see. Otherwise, we'll switch it over and get ready for the men's contest. Thanks to everyone who sent along text messages playing along with me here this evening. Always nice to know where people are listening in, and thanks to the production crew down in the production room for getting us on the air. And all the work they do behind the scenes. Thank you very much. Miles, James, Abril, everybody else who's involved with the productions on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. All right, I think we'll call it a ball game here at this point as we get ready for the men's action. The Bellevue Bruins fall tonight to the Montana Tech Ore Diggers, 73-57, our final score. Thanks for listening to the women's contest. We'll have men's action coming your way in about 15 minutes. Join us for more on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network.